thought you guys might like to see how I do the detailing like that on parts like these. Silly little stuff you don't need to look good, but you know, when you got nothing else to do, it's kind of fun. Anyhow, what I do is I lay down a nice base coat of Buck 8 flat black spray paint there from Walmart. No endorsement from me. I don't know. It's cheapo paint. It gets the job done. And then lay down a couple of coats of that, 2 or 3. You know, when you're doing parts like all those different parts, you're just coming in and out and outside painting stuff. So 2 or 3 coats is not that big of a deal. You don't have to wait around. You're constantly busy. And then I put decent clear spray paint over the top of it, in between the black and the clear. If I want to do any kind of detailing like this, that's when I do it. And I'll show you how I do that when I do that. Now I like to bring my painted parts inside as quick as possible, since I'm painting outdoors and it's, you know, it's fall, it's chilly. The paint's going on cold, and cold paint makes well, it makes it run worse, and it doesn't cure, and it's no good. So you want to, you know, keep your parts as warm as possible, and the paint as warm as possible. So, you know, it's always a good thing to heat up your spray paint before. I didn't. It's just flat black. It flattens out really easy. You know, don't just leave your parts outside before you paint them or something, because it'll cool the paint off as it's sitting on there, and it won't cure, and, you know, whatever. As you can see, my paint's already dry almost. Just in the time I went outside, painted it, and came back in. It's flashed off already. So, figure I'll throw a 3rd coat on there, wait a little bit longer for it to actually cure a bit, and then I'll do the detailing. Okay, so now my paint's dry. Next step is determine what do you want detailed. Shoot. I figure we'll do the edges here, where these are raised, and do it up to there, and it'll probably knock off that too. And yeah, that looks good. That's what I'll do. First, gotta take her off with your safety wire, which, by the way, use safety wire to hang your parts and hold them when you're spray painting. You probably saw that. Okay, so what I'm going to use to do this is the belt sander. I'm just going to take this and just along that edge and just work it there and there. You can see some Bondo dust on there. You can see sort of where I'm going to be sanding. One note about the belt sander, careful not to get your fingers in it. That don't feel good. That don't feel good. No, well, yeah, it doesn't feel good. My belt is really worn out. In fact, I can touch it when it's running, and it doesn't, you know, I mean, obviously I can't just go doo-doo-doo, it's running, but, you know, I can touch it and it doesn't hurt me, which is kind of a pain in the ass because it doesn't work as well. Anyhow, you know, be careful, don't hurt yourself. It's all that safety crap. One note took me a while to learn on the belt sander is this, the adjustment knob. This is critical. If you get your belt walking off to one side or the other, it's not a big deal. You just turn your adjustment knob to your right, and it'll actually tilt this roller in the front one way or the other, and I'll cause the belt to walk back into place, or out of place, depending on where you put this. And then you just sort of watch it until it stops moving, and you get it in the right spot where it doesn't move, and you're adjusted. So let's just note about that. Fire this thing up and show you how it goes. Well, in this case, I'm not liking the way it's turning out. You can see it's kind of splotchy due to unevenness in the casting. You actually have to sand down these bits a bit, and it's not, since it's that lip, it's not doing that. So I'm going to do a little hand sanding and touch her up, and then we'll clear it and see how it turns out. Okay, well, I'm not sure if I like the way that looks or not, but you know what? We're going to roll with it. You can see it has many flaws. It's not perfect at all. Yeah, that's because of this casting is not very, it's not very, pretty. It's a brake push rod. It's nothing fancy. And it was pitted with rust. This pedal cluster was really rusty when I got it. So, hang this from the safety wire, and then shoot clear on it, and show you how it looks. Okay, now you can see I've cleared it, and you can see the color gets a lot darker. It looked really light. In fact, this is the first coat, so there's still some unpainted parts. Right, hang on, focus, little buddy. Yeah, you can see there's some unpainted parts right on the top. It looks to be a lighter color, and then you see here, it looks a lot darker. But shoot, from a distance, that thing will look pretty sweet. And keep in mind, that end, the hoop, is going to be in between those two things, so you won't even see it anyhow. Yeah, throw some more clear on there, right here. Pound the pin in. We're done.